This airplane is so good that FlyLive doesn't even recognize what it is. Sweet. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Another live stream coming at you from the backwoods of South Georgia in the V1 HQ. Hope everyone is having a wonderful Wednesday afternoon. Yes, Wednesday morning, Wednesday afternoon, wherever you may be tuning in from. Yet again, thank you all for being here. I gotta tell you, 95 viewers already. This is gonna be interesting. I'm gonna try not to rage quit on this one because if y'all know me, y'all follow the channel. I love turboprops. I really, truly do. I think turboprops are the most fun airplanes to fly. But man, for some reason, me and this ATR are like oil and water. We just do not mix. So I'm gonna do my best to hang on, and we're gonna have a good flight across the Pacific, shark-infested waters there, going up into the Baja, over to Puerto Vallarta. Man, I think I might just have to kill the whole FlyLive overlay, or I might just leave it up just as a just to spite this ATR. I'm gonna leave that up there. I'm just gonna say it doesn't even know what it identifies as. So we're gonna leave it up there, and we're gonna rock with it. Also, one other issue: this airport that I'm using a little custom Cabo, which is pretty nice. It brings some life to this airport, but it has absolutely zero GSX. Like, a GSX just does not work with this airport. So no GSX here, which is fine. We're gonna be on the airplane anyway. We're gonna get her all set up and good to go. I mean, the outside does look pretty nice. I got some nav lights on apparently on battery power. Oh, I think I'm on GPU power. Anyway, I have to turn those off. But I mean, the exterior model looks pretty nice. It's definitely missing some features and stuff like probes and a couple other things. But actually, no, you know what? They are right there. It's not bad. It's not a bad looking airplane. I'll tell you that. But I'd much rather have a Q400. But we're going to dive into it together. We're going to have a good time. Mexico tour stop number 2 starts now. And Callie Simmer has just dropped a bomb. 20 gifted subs. Callie Simmer, my man, that is very, very, very kind of you. Thank you, sir. Guys, if you pick up a gifted sub, wow. Make sure you say your thanks to Callie Simmer. That is very, very generous of you, sir. Thank you for that. I appreciate the support. I'm going to go ahead and pause the alert box here for a little bit, but that's very, very kind of you. Thank you so much for the support, Callie Simmer. I hope you enjoy this one. I hope you enjoy this stream. It's going to be interesting, to say the least. So here we go, guys. Let's hop into the airplane. I have the airplane just sitting on ground power. I don't have anything. I just have the battery on. We're sitting on ground power. Cockpit is actually pretty nicely done. You know, this isn't really a review flight or anything, but I mean, the textures and stuff in the cockpit are actually pretty nice.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, what's going on?
I didn't know that. Okay.
Why is someone talking on VATSIM? We're gonna go ahead and end the VATSIM there. Peyton, good to see you, man. He says, just checking in. I got to get back to work. Have a good stream. Peyton, I appreciate that. Thank you. Also got the Embraer 121 last night, and holy smokes, Peyton, I think I might... Maybe we should have been on the 121 today. I don't know. We will see. This airplane was voted for from the commercial pilots. Look at those nice props out there. So we're going to give it a shot. We're going to give it a fair chance here as we get ready to head over to Puerto Vallarta. So let's go ahead and fire this thing up. Jungly Sim, welcome back, man. Welcome back to a membership from Callie Simmer. Good to have you on board, Jungly Sim. Always a pleasure, dude, man. Welcome. All right, guys, let's go ahead and fire this thing up. I kind of use a hybrid mix of the onboard checklist and then just kind of using common sense. So let's go ahead and get up to the overhead to start. Let's find that taxi light. Apparently I have a taxi light on. I don't. It should be off. It's kind of interesting to me because we got a taxi light on outside here. But everything's off unless that's logo light. Those are off. Those are off. Taxi light. What would be causing that light to be on? What if I turn the takeoff lights on? Okay, maybe it's a bug. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, Brad K, the cockpit looks juicy. It really does. Okay, so let's kind of go through the overhead flow. There's a million and two different ways to do this, but we're just going to go ahead and do some semblance of a flow here. So we're going to start on the left-hand side. We are going to use hotel mode right away, so I'm going to go ahead and get the fuel pump for engine 2 online. Everything looks good. Wipers are off. Nav is on. Logo lights, we'll go ahead and turn those on. I'm going to go ahead and turn the prop brake on. That is only for engine number 2. Hotel mode is basically an APU for the airplane. The airplane doesn't have an APU, so it's got hotel mode. I'm going to go ahead and get the GCs, the DC Gen 1 and 2 on. They're going to faulted because it's obviously not running. I think it's interesting that all these are in position off. I'm not quite sure how... Any real ATR drivers out there, if you let me know, because I feel like there's a lot of lights on this overhead, whether it's off or on. Just there's a lot going on here. Anyway, everything looks good. Battery's on. This is the main battery power switch there. That looks good. Over to the right-hand side, we'll go ahead and turn no devices on. Our seatbelt sign on. We'll arm the emergency exit lights. That's fault. That's normal. We'll leave our heaters off. We'll get our windshield heating on. AC gens, we'll go ahead and get those online even though they're faulted out because there's no power. That's normal. And we'll go ahead and fire up our hydraulics. And over the right-hand side, everything looks good on this side. Main oxygen supply will come on. With that done, we're going to go ahead and go, let's see, start A or B. It's the 7th, so let's use an odd. We'll go start B, and we're going to go ahead and go number 2 on. We're going to wait for 10% here on the engine, NH, and then we're going to go ahead and put the condition lever into the feathered position. So right about there, and you'll see and listen. Press L twice. Pressed L, I can't get the lights to shut off, so it is what it is. But you can hear the engine spooling up, but the props are not going to spin, so that is completely normal. That's just how these airplanes work, and I've been around several of these ATRs in close proximity. So fun fact, random fact, in Tampa, Florida, where Silver Airways has these ATRs, a lot of times the hotel shuttles will drop us off out there right by the ramp, and you see these. I mean, it's loud. I mean, the engine's running. You can run pneumatics off of that. You can cool the cabin. You can get power from it, but the props aren't spinning, so it's just kind of a safe mode to have the APU on. Kind of a neat feature. ATR is a joint venture between Airbus and Leonardo, so that's why. Is it really? Is this airplane a joint venture between, like, Leonardo from the MD-80 Leonardo? Very interesting. Yeah, the Silver Flamingo ATRs. Yeah, I love them, man. I love seeing them. Oh, I got a Windows Update notice here. That's good. I don't know why I have phantom lights on. We're just going to leave it for now, but not much I can do. So we are in hotel mode. That is good. Do we have a storm light? I don't think we need any lights, but it's kind of dark in here. So basically, everything else looks good on the overhead. Let's hop down over here and start going through some stuff in our flight plan box. So I loaded up the flight plan. They fixed a lot of this from that last update where you had a lot of doubling of waypoints. So that's good. We got our standard flight plan in there. What we do need to do is set up our weights and stuff. So I'm going to go back, initialization. We're going to go perf init. Our cruise today is going to be 21,000 feet. We'll go ahead and throw that in there. Flight level 210. Our weights, I've configured the weights to use the... You have to use the Microsoft loading. That's basically how you configure weights on this airplane. So it's kind of meh. But I've already loaded up our fuel. We need a little over 46,000 pounds. So I'm going to press and hold, and it'll auto-populate. So zero fuel weight is 43,000. Fuel on board, we have 46,000, 4,600. We have 4,900 pounds of gas. That's good because we're going to be burning a little bit here in hotel mode. That will also populate our gross weight. This is a pretty heavy aircraft right now because I think the max takeoff weight is about 53,000 pounds. So we're getting up there. We're definitely getting up there in weight, but everything looks good. So our weights are set. We've got 1,300 pounds of reserve. The weather is absolutely beautiful. It's clear in a million across the Pacific, so it should be a nice scenic flight looking at absolutely nothing but water until we descend into the default Puerto Vallarta in Mexico. Because I'm kind of surprised. I'm just going to say, for all those airport creators out there, Mexico, we need some airports in Mexico to be spiced up a little bit. Puerto Vallarta, I'm surprised there's not one. There's one here for Cabo, which is good, but the GSX thing is kind of sad. I guess maybe you can download a profile, but Puerto Vallarta's not in there. There's a couple other small airports in Mexico that I just can't find any scenery for that I'm actually pretty surprised. So. Anyway, let's go ahead and, I'm going to go ahead and reset the alert box here before I forget. Thank you. Happy turboprop day, Delta Tango. Welcome on board, man. Leonardo is an Italian company mostly known for helicopters and military transport planes. Okay. ATR is France, Italian aircraft manufacturer headquartered in Blanc, France? A suburb of Toulouse, formed during 1981. Okay, well. I mean, it's a very unique airplane, that is for sure. Very unique. I can definitely see the Airbus-isms. I can even see a little bit of Embraer-esque stuff in here when we got the FMS speeds and all that. But let's continue on with our situation here. Fuel flow, we only got 19 pounds. You're typically got to do fuel flow reset. I've already reset. We're burning 19 pounds on number 2 because that's the hotel mode, so that looks good. All right, with that done, on our flight plan in the box, the only other thing we can really mess with now is we're going to get our radio management panel on. We're 2000. I'm going to go ahead and put that on. We're on standby to on, so code 2000. And our radio panel, I already have us tuned in here, 122.8. That is our active comm. Speaking of communications, I need to make sure I rebind my VATS and push to talk. So give me 1 second. There it is, TCA Boke Yoing. Done. All right. Is this plane worth buying? You know what? It depends on what you're looking to get out of it. For a $7 turboprop, because I had I think it's what, for this the deluxe package, you get a discount, right? So this airplane only cost me $7 US. I mean, if you want a turboprop, I'd say it's worth it. Mind you, my two biggest issues with this airplane, and I mean for $7, it sounds silly, but I'm gonna bring up the tiller cam here, the Boeing cam, yoke cam, where we got the binding of this airplane for turboprop manipulation, the flight guidance panel. What is the FGCP? I believe that's what this is called in this airplane, is FGCP. In almost every other airplane, you have a default setting so your honeycomb stuff works, like your heading, vertical speed, out, all that stuff. All these buttons work on most airplanes default with the honeycomb. This being an Asobo product, I am shocked that none of these are bound by default. Now, I've even tried binding some, and it is a absolute head scratcher. You got to get into SPAD and get some profiles. This airplane is heavily used, or is heavily flown by this panel up here, more so than even, I mean, I don't say more so than anything else. I mean, it's just very heavily used up here. So not having any of this bound can make it a challenge and a headache. Also, the throttle quadrant scenario. It's clunky, and it just is not the way that the last update set reverse thrust. If you have a Bravo does not play nice with using reverse thrust as a toggle on here. Even when you use it as, not on the same axis and all that, it doesn't play nice. It's clunky, and it can be frustrating. So those are kind of two of my negatives on this airplane. And I guess the third thing would be the hidden click spots. Now, if you guys don't know about this, you go options and I'll show you. Display click spot help. This shows you where you click on your screens, and you can control basically your NDs and PFDs by clicking on the screen, where in real life, you're using the panels back here. Let's see. So right here, you're using, what are these controls? Yeah, ND, system, all that, which is good, fine and good, but it can make it unfamiliar. And the more you use the airplane, I'm sure you'll get used to it. For example, like going through final cockpit prep, I'm going to go ahead and you're just clicking here, then to go back, you click here. So it's just, I don't know what to say about it. I'm not disappointed for $7. I'm not upset that I spent $7 on this airplane. I think the sounds are pretty lacking, for startup and shutdown. It has some decent sounds once you're flying around at full power, but it's hard to critique an airplane and give negative opinions on something that's $7. So I'm not trying to be super negative. I'm just telling you what frustrates me with this airplane. And I just, kind of like I saw Dougal's message. He says, I flew this once, but it didn't light any fires under me. I prefer the C-160. And Dougal, I agree with that 100%. I've flown this airplane a couple times, and I just never come away feeling satisfied or excited. I just feel like, And then some things will happen, and like, is that a bug, or is that legit, or is it just pilot error? Do I not know what I'm doing? And full disclosure, I really don't know what I'm doing in this airplane. But when I get in the C-160, which is a very simple, large transport turboprop, I just have so much fun. It is a joy in all aspects. Everybody's different. I'm just kind of letting you guys know what I feel about it. So, and I'm talking about this now because we don't have GSX to load passengers here at this airport, so we're not really wasting time. We're just kind of going over my initial thoughts. But with all that said, let's have ourselves some fun flights here and get the rest of this thing set up. So, we'll get to wrong side sim, dropping a $15.
Hey, prop day. Nice. Scheduling a stream now myself. Gonna announcing some Airbus swag giveaway details that maybe you'd like to get in on. Lol, bought Airbus swag at the factory to give away. I'm free tomorrow for Q&A stream if able.
Wrong side sim. Thank you so much, man, for the $15 bank angle check right back at you. Gonna announce some Airbus swag giveaway. Ooh, that sounds awesome, man. That sounds very, very interesting. Hit me up. We'll have to talk later, man. Appreciate the support. Hey, one of my buddies is flying one of those brand new Neos today. So I think he's doing a Dallas turn. But good deal, wrong side. Appreciate the support, man. We'll be in touch, my friend. No doubt about it. All right. Dougal, yeah, Q400. Absolutely. I would love the Q400. I missed the Q we had in X-Plane. That Q4XP, phenomenal airplane. And X-Plane, I think, when you look at, look at this guy. He's got one engine already spinning back over there. That the binding in X-Plane 12, you can really make turboprops much easier to bind and manipulate more accurately the way that the bindings were set up in X-Plane. For some reason, it's nearly impossible to have an accurate representation from hardware to turboprop manipulation down here. I don't know why that is. Like, you can't just trigger a beta. You can't trigger, unless you have an actual axis, like it's on your same axis, you're going to be SOL. So keep that in mind. But let's go ahead and continue getting this thing fired up. So one other thing we need to do is we're going to go here, we're going to hit the perf page, and our weights are set. So I'm going to confirm takeoff data. That'll populate our V-speeds. I'm going to come back over here to the performance page. We're going to go ahead and close that. Performance. We're going to go payload, and you can see here, this is where we got everything. We are just under max landing weight, a little under max takeoff weight, but we're all within the envelope. Here is your MMO speeds. VMO speeds is all good to have and handy. Our takeoff trim is 1.1. So we'll come over here and we'll verify we go 1.1 on the trim. There's that trim wheel running. I like that sound. Very accurate. 1.1. We'll get it right in the spot there. Can I brighten this up a little bit? Let's see if we can brighten that up a little bit. Is it true that the Islanders? It is true that the Islander is a lot of fun, but much slower and lower than the ATR. Oh yeah. See, I would like to get the Islander. I don't have the Islander. I think I had that. I had an Islander in X-Plane. Might have to pick up an Islander as well. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to go ahead and select FMS speeds over there. Our altitude with no ATC, we're going to dial in 210. And like, you see what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of hard to do this. You got to like move your thing over here, and where's, oh, there we go. Where's mini FCU? Although I don't know if mini FCU would work with this because you got to bind it. For some reason, binding these buttons are really a challenge. The C-160 feels much more real than an ATR on the sim. Yes, I would agree with that, Bone King. I just get a... I don't know how else to explain it. You have to fly the C-160 to see for yourself. All right, so our perf data has been checked and set. We've got our fuel done. We're 210. We should hit outcell out here, and we'll do our VNAV. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to select VNAV. Now I screwed it up. We're going to go LNAV off the ground, and altitude is 210. 210. LNAV is armed. FD ready to go, and let's go ahead and step through some of this. Landing elevation, that is checked. FMS comm nav, we've done that. Fuel quantity checked, reset. Engine fuel use is reset. Memo panel is checked. Power management is in the takeoff position. All right, procedure completed. Before propeller rotation, CDLs, cockpit door locking system. Yeah, we're going to just skip that. It's behind the FO seat. FMS and takeoff data has been confirmed. We'll go ahead and put our flight plan on the flight plan, or put our McDo on the flight plan page. Trims, all three axes. We're 1.1, neutral, neutral, so that looks good. Tail prop on board. Make sure you don't start up with the tail stand out here. So that would be doors. We'll close those up. We'll get the beacon on, and we'll start the rotation process. So let's go over to aircraft. We'll go ahead and close the cargo door. We'll close the main door. We'll leave the chocks. We'll close the service door, so we're on ground power. We're still on ground power. I don't even think we need to be, but we're going to go ahead and get rotation before we pull it. Seatbelts are on. Beacon, we'll get that on. Procedure complete. And now we're going to go down here back to normal procedures, and we're going to be left with... see, this is what kind of is frustrating. Pre-prayer, we already did all that, yada, yada, yada. Boom. And now we got to go before propeller rotation. We just did all that. And then it doesn't go, it goes into pending. So I want to skip those. Normal. And I want to go... I want to go down to normal. And I want to go down to before taxi and select that one. All right. With that done, beacon is on. We're going to go ahead and release the prop brake. With the prop brake released, the propeller is going to unfeather. Or I'm sorry, it's not going to unfeather. It's actually going to release itself into the feathered position. With it in the feathered position, we'll move the fuel condition lever to the auto. And that's going to go ahead and bring up the torque. And the NP is on the rise. I don't need this page. I'm going to leave it on this page for right now for engine start. You can start to hear it spool up. Let me bump up the sounds even more. Rage quit, I hear it coming. Bump up the sounds as loud as I can make them because they're pretty quiet. Martin, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for hitting the like button. Rage quit. Not rage quitting yet. All right, we got a good start on one. Let's go ahead and I think now I can pull external power. Boom. And the generator's online, and I think I can pull that one. All right, so with that done, we're going to go ahead and go over here. We're going to go ground power removed. Wheel chocks removed. We still have the park brake on. Let's go ahead and turn number 1. We're going to use starter B again because it's an even day. No, odd day, 7th. Yeah, so we'll get the fuel pump on. Starting 1. Now you can see with the shakes and stuff, I've actually activated FS Realistic, which is something I really dislike. But this airplane absolutely needs it. Let's see if we can get some visuals out here. There goes the rotation. Wrong side, you sent a pic of the grand prize? All right, man, I'll check it out, dude. Ooh. Wrong side. That is looking good, my friend. All right, well, looks like we got another good start there. We have 2 good starts with that done. We're going to go ahead and go to off up here. We're going to do an overhead flow. TRU is on. Making sure everything else looks good. Our lights are still off. No set up here. Make sure I'm not missing anything. We'll go ahead and get those on. Beautiful. Did I arm those? Yeah, they were armed. Everything looks good on this hand side as well. Annunciator light, we'll put them in a bright position. All right, we got 2 good engine starts. We're doing flaps 15 is set. Trims are set. Flaps are coming down. We're about ready to taxi out of here. All right, so I don't need this page anymore, so I have to click around this screen to figure out which way I need to click to get to my ND. There it is, and then I want that mode right there. So, pretty interesting. All right, prop brake. Why is prop? Oh, parking brake is on. Parking brake is on. Not parking brake is normal. All right, let's go ahead and release the brakes. I have that bound to the Bravo, which kind of works if you cycle it. So brakes are released. And we need to make a tight turn out of here. We're probably going to clip some stuff. We're going to do our best. We'll crank in our tiller, a little bit of right brake, a little differential braking. Oh yeah, flight dispatch. I totally agree with you, man. Turboprop sounds are like none other, dude. I must have V1 internet because it's been dropping today. Uh-oh, Lauren. But welcome on board. Glad to have you here when you are here. Appreciate you tuning in. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Lauren, I saw that Christy Ionscu almost violated everybody's airspace yesterday when he fell asleep in a 777. Unbelievable. I cannot believe that. Christian Ionscu, who's a frequent visitor of the stream, a mod as well, he did what no VATSIM pilot should do. He actually fell asleep at the controls of his 777, busted New York airspace, and almost into Detroit Center, or whatever. Which one were you controlling, Lauren? Over there in Detroit area. I guess I should make some radio calls on V-Pilot. Let's do that before we get out here on the taxiway. Cabo traffic, Mexicana 357. We're going to be taxiing a runway 34 via Alpha. I think it's 34, right? So here we go. I'm going to try to use like a beta. So I clicked mine into a little bit of a reverse there, and now it's just gonna like freak itself out. You see that? Oh, hold on, hold the phone. So again, Asobo clunkiness with the reverse bindings. Now, they used to work much better until the very last release. It requires this airplane to have the toggle reverse thrust binding on now, which can make it a challenge if you don't want to use same axis reverse. Oh yeah, Cleveland Center. My bad, Lauren. My bad. Did we just get onto a runway? Yeah, we did. We're going to back taxi. We'll just back taxi. Cabo traffic, Mexicana 357. We're back taxiing on runway 34 for a northbound departure, Cabo. So I'm just going to leave it in low or just in ground idle and ride the brakes, which is the #1 thing you're not supposed to do when you're in a turboprop. Just use the TC Airbus shuttle. So I was actually getting ready to use my Throttletek for this, but I already had most of the Bravo bound, Tyson. So I might go back to the Throttletek, but then you get in the problem of setting the zones, which I haven't figured it out yet. I haven't figured out a good solution just yet. No, I don't think the right call sign is Mexicana. I don't know who operates. Oh, did I say Mexicana? Aeromexico. Oops. I don't know who operates Aeromexico Express. Who's it operated by? I didn't... I'm not quite sure who operates Aeromexico Express. Aeromar? Okay. So then we probably should have updated all the stuff on Fly Live. Alright, so I'm going to bring the power up a little bit. Let's go ahead and get rolling down this taxiway. I would just take off here, but it's about a 15-knot quartering tailwind, which is a little bit not optimal. I feel like we're dragging a brake here. What's going on? Oh, we have the ground, we have the, this thing on there. Gust lock. TL Aeromar. They went defunct in February. Really? Aeromar went defunct in February of this year? It was operated by Aero Litoral, call sign Costera. Interesting. Okay, so see, I'm learning. I'm learning. FlySim Mexico. I imagine you have extensive knowledge of flying in Mexico, so I'm going to take your word for it. Yeah, Lauren, we're all a mess today, Lauren. That's just what the ATR does to me. That's just what the ATR does. Aeromar is a defunct airline that had an ATR fleet, and they leased these ATRs to Aeromexico. Very interesting. All right. Well, thanks for the info, FlySim. You have to really want to fly this plane to get it to work better as possible. Jeff L., yes. I'm not saying it is impossible, but it takes some work. While we're kind of going down here on the back taxi, let's look at the rest of our stuff. FWS, recall, cockpit comm, hatch is closed. Auto, okay, anti-ice is not required. TRU is on a check. Anti-skid test, we're going to skip that. Flaps 15, MW, nose wheel steering is on. Procedure completed. And there we go, off the runway. We probably could do an intersection departure and we just flip it around. But we'll go full length. We're almost there. AJ, good to see you, man. Good afternoon, V1 gang. I bought this airplane day one and still haven't flown it. Well, I'd say you're missing out, but from a personal experience, I don't know what to make of it. I honestly don't know what to make of it. I don't know why we're going so slow. We're doing 15 knots, but like if I just bump the power levers here, then we like really start going. Like I feel 20% torque on the ground, we'd be really ripping. All right, we're gonna make a U-turn right here. Cabo traffic, Aeromar 357, making a 180 on the runway, departing runway 34 to the northeast, Cabo. All right, so we're gonna flip it around right here. Alright, let's go ahead and get the rest of our stuff on. Lights on, we get the logo light, wings light, everything looks good up top. Let's come down here. Oops. I just clicked something, I don't know what it was. Oh, we missed power MCT to takeoff. Alright, before taxi, we did all that. We're going to skip through that again. Normal procedures. Before takeoff, that's what I want right there. Takeoff briefing performed. Gust lock is off. Flight controls checked. Transponder is on. Boost function as required. Airflow norm. Just making sure everything looks good. Yep, airflow looks good. Cabin crew advised, engine bleed as required. We're going to leave them on. Exterior lights are on. Lateral flight director bar center. Rudder cam center. Procedure completed. After that, we're going to be on the after takeoff checklist. We'll leave that up. Alright, so now there is a way to get... This is what I've had an issue with. I need to get GA on the flight director bar. And now I'm forgetting where it was. So LNAV is armed, but I need GA up here. So give me... How do we do that? IS heading. We're in FMS speeds, which is good. We could select heading, yeah. Heading select low, but I want to be nav. So heading select, LNAV armed. And you can push heading to sync. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Press IAS twice. IAS, oh, there we go. I don't think that's right though. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to say GA. Oh yeah, no, power levers are in auto. Alright, well, let's give it a shot. This is definitely not a bug. This is just an issue here. So let's go ahead and spool them up. We're going to go right into notch. Notch, notch. Speed line. There's that crosswind, which is making the airplane turn the wrong direction. The airplane should be wanting to turn to the left, not to the right. V1 rotate. Positive rate. Gear up. Fly with. Whoa. So now we should have a speed target of like 140. Let's go ahead and keep climbing out here initially on the initial power. That looks good. The gear up right after takeoff reminds you of American made. So I'm going to manually select speed because I can't get to go to F speed, so I got to lower the nose here. I've had that happen to me twice. Once we hit 140, we'll go ahead and retract our flaps. There's 140, flaps 0, flaps coming up. Nice little pitch change there with the flaps. That nose wants to drop. Make sure you don't drop the nose. There's our turn to the right. Now I'm going to keep bugging up the speed, about 170 knots. Actually, we'll do 180. 180, let's go ahead and get on the flight director. And we're through acceleration, so we'll go climb power. And I'm going to direct us. We're going to go DTO. Let's go SD703. Execute that. So that's going to be a hard right turn. Bank angle check to the right. Back over Cabo. Oh, there we go. Back to climb to get the speed bug up. Thank you. So now we're back to 170 managed power. I got you. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. There goes Cabo out the right-hand side. Looking good. Looking good. That pitch, he just wants to keep pitching up. Let's go ahead and retrim it. And like, I know guys rave about the flight model. I've never flown an ATR, but it seems alright. Nothing to write home about. Was that takeoff intended to be with tailwind? Robinson, so the METAR initially had us going the other way. I did not want to go off of 3-4, but going down the runway, it looked like it was out of the, from the back, wasn't it? From a little bit of a tailwind there. All right, that's enough hand flying. Autopilot yaw damper is on. All right, we're LNAV. IIS hold. We're 170 in the climb out. Power management's in climb. Let's go ahead and run through some takeoff checklist. If after takeoff, here we go. Landing gear up, flap 0, power management. NP is climb, check. Engine bleeds are on. Taxi and takeoff lights off. So we'll go ahead and go boom, boom. We'll leave the landing lights on. Taxi and takeoff off, though. We're climbing out now. And there you have it. The ATR is en route, and Flight Dispatch has dropped 10 gifted memberships. Flight Dispatch, man, I appreciate you. Monster Dono, the Speedbird himself. Guys, if you're new to the channel, if you just got a membership, get those Speedbird emojis in chat. Flight Dispatch, when he's not working, he always follows us around on stream with Speedbird 320s. It doesn't matter if we're going Phoenix to Los Angeles. He's going to be in a Speedbird 320. So thank you very much, Flight Dispatch. Very kind of you, man. Appreciate the support. Appreciate the love. Let's go ahead and have ourselves a day over to Puerto Vallarta. I like the cabin. Like there's things about this airplane that I really do like. I like the cabin view, and I'm a sucker for turboprops. I love the, you know, like this climb sound is pretty good. Like we're sitting here in climb power, looking pretty good, feeling pretty good. Everything else is doing good. We'll go ahead and skip through that one. Procedure complete. So that's gonna leave us in the basically descent checklist. So we'll go ahead and just keep that up there. But we got a little ways before that. We'll zoom out our range. I think. Oh, see, I messed the click spot again. Is it over here? Ah, see. What's the range on that thing? Options, click spot help. Ranged at the very top. Okay. There we go. Oh, we have a disco. After Iliga, let's go ahead and clear that disco out. I didn't see that. Oh, it's because that disco was sitting right there on the line. There we go. Now we're set up. 6.5, climbing 210. We might have to check the ceiling. I don't know if we have the ceiling, the power for 210. We're going to have to check the performance. Jeff L. dropping $10 on the super chat. Are you not entertained? Thanks for the ATR stream, V1. Jeff L. It's a lot of work, man. It's a lot of work. I appreciate it. I hope you're enjoying it, man. Thank you.
Today. Plus, was that a grunt style t-shirt? Hell yeah.
Mike P. Five bank angle checks right back at you, man. You know what it is, dude. So I actually bought this shirt. So, you know, I'm from Texas. Our girls were born in Texas, and we were moving right as my wife was about to have our third. I was like, I got to have my son born in Texas too, right? So we literally moved to Georgia, flew back to Texas the day before the baby was due. Before my son was due, we flew back to Texas. Wife was like having contractions like in a rental car and stuff. Pretty wild. Had the baby the next day. The day he was born, I bought him an M4, got this shirt, got a couple other things. I had the Texas flag on it. This one's got like the big state of Texas on it. And then we drove back home like 3 days later. We drove 15 hours with a newborn. back to Georgia. So, but thank you, Mike P, for the support, man. Appreciate you. Jeff L, thank you again for the super chat, man. I don't know why Nightbot's doing some weird things. This double popping them. Appreciate you, Jeff. All right, so out of 10,000, not quite yet. So we're 170, 76.1. Where is our optimum? Let's take a look at this. Let's go performance, one engine out, ceiling, cruise out. What is that? What does it say, cruise altitude 400? Alternate, mean wind, ETA. Hold on, what did we miss up here? We don't have an alternate. Everything wait. Cruise mode, max cruise. Cruise altitude. Why is that? Oh, that's alternate cruise altitude. Uh-oh. I put it in the wrong box. Let's see if we can. There we go. Now if we go back to perf 210, that's going to mess up our gross weight. No, it's not. I don't know why that didn't. This made it fuel on board a landing. Not sure what happened there. But where is progress page? Here we go. Where is there not a max altitude here? What's Prame? Nope. Not quite sure, but we're out over the great white infested Pacific Ocean right now. Basach, yeah, that's what it means to be Texan, man. I changed your alternate cruise altitude. Yeah, I put the real one in there now. I'm sure we're all here because you have so much knowledge in the 320, but it's fun to watch a professional pilot take on a very different bird. Very, very different indeed, man. And I've flown turboprop. I've flown a lot of turboprops, man. I love them. I've never flown the ATR, but it's just, there's certain things in a turboprop that it's very hard to create in the sim. And I think the best representation we ever had was, or close to it, the Airfoil Labs King Air and X-Plane 11, because you would be able to, it didn't matter what type of throttle you had. Got a little bit of an offset here, but I don't think it matters. I'm going to go ahead and put them back in the notch mode so you get that little bit of jitter. I used to be able to just like click a little button, like where the instinctive disconnect was, I'd click it, and then I would be in beta range. And then I could use my throttles on axes in beta, and then if I clicked it again, it would be into reverse. Or if I dropped them into reverse, it'd be in reverse range. So a lot that has to do with turboprops is how you handle the engines on the ground, which is very hard apparently to simulate in a sim environment, and then the way turboprops work as you gain altitude. Now we're going to keep an eye on this one. Basically 73.3, so I keep seeing this going up, which is good. So far so good. So far everything's checking out. We're out of 10,000 feet. Let's go ahead and get the rest of our lights off. So we'll turn off all those. We'll leave the strobe on. Beacon nav, get rid of the logo lights. Now 170 climb out, I feel like I want to go a little faster than that. Probably not a good idea, huh? I'm going to go ahead and do man speed. I'm going to do 180. Because we're going to do like a VY. VY climb out. We're getting ready to bank angle check to the right here. We're looking good. ATRs always climb out at 170 knots? Well, guess what? This one's climbing out at 180 knots, and we're in Mexico, baby. We can do what we want. What about the FlyJ Sim-8? Brandon M, yeah, the FlyJ Sim was very, very good. Actually, yes, I would throw that up there. The FlyJ Sim-8, the King Air, the Airfoil Labs King Air, and what I say the other one was? Oh, if I didn't say it, TBM 900 was also very good. But the, yes, the Dash 8 on X-Plane had a very good way of manipulating all of the power levers, and it had that little like ghost menu that would pop up here. That was a very good alternative to getting the proper power settings and condition lever settings. I really enjoyed the FlyJ as well. I do like the way it looks, and I gotta say, I like the way the ATRs look. This little like fairing pod on here, it just looks mean. I like it. I do like the way it looks. I think it's a sleek looking bird for sure. I actually think this looks better than the Q. I think this looks more aggressive than the Q400. All right, we're looking good. Let's see. So yeah, it's pretty much straight shot from there. We'll sync our heading bug. Beep. Out to 210. Let's go ahead and take a seat back here behind the wing. Is there any news on the Q400 in Sim? I haven't heard anything, Dougal. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about FlyJ Sim, which is kind of a shame because they had 7.2, 7.3. They have some airplanes that I would have really loved to see make their way to Microsoft, but it's been very, very quiet. Is this 20? Is this like 20,000? Is that my max? At or above 200. We're not going to make that restriction, so we probably would have been illegal on this departure now. So we're 600 feet, so let's go ahead and bring this. Let me go back to 170 manual. See how it pitches up. .3. Everything is looking really good right here. TLU low speed. Speed limit. Let me go to this perf page real quick. Not take a payload. What do we got here? VLO, VFE. VA 175. VFE 185, VLE, retraction extension. Interesting. You can see our weights are coming down. I mean, so it's got some really good info on it. I mean, it does have some really good data that you can track, like the performance. It's got all your speeds for you. It looks like we got a takeoff calculator. Is there a landing calculator here? If I go back to performance tab, landing data. Yeah, we can do our landing data calculation. I didn't mess around with this. I mean, you could, I don't know when you would ever be redoing the fire protection unless you're actually doing engine fires. I don't know if it's implemented or not. Bottles and squibs, oxygen refill, brake temperature reset. Hopefully you don't have to use that. Everything else looks good. That PFD throttle hint, so that's something that I have up here. You see this goes like notch, notch. Man, that's not what the real airplane does. As far as I can tell. Is that right? That's just what for simism. But it's looking good so far. Looking good so far. Let's go ahead and keep on climbing out here. Love flying a spreadsheet. Yeah, me too. Caleb, yeah, I don't think it's going to happen, man. I don't think it's going to happen. First order of business at Puerto Vallarta, walking across the pedestrian bridge to Cone de Marlin, serious eats. Oh, dude, Tyson, that sounds good, man. I think we're going to do fish tacos today. I think we're going to be doing fish tacos. So last night we had, I'm going full-blown Mexico tour, man. We did fajitas, like chimichurri steak fajitas. Oh, so good. And tonight we're going to do some fish tacos. And I was like, hey, I was talking to the wife. I was like, what can we make that's like a Mexican-style dessert? And I was like, what about churros? I love churros, so they were making churros. She actually made air fryer churros, so we were staying a little bit on the healthy side. Air fryer churros, though, they were pretty tasty. Fubar, welcome to the stream, man. Glad to have you on board, dude. Short flight today. We're messing with this turboprop here. The next one is either going to be, and I normally put the poll out for the commercial pilots, but we're going to put a poll in here for the next aircraft because for everybody that's tuning in today and helping me get through the struggle bus of flying this airplane, you have earned yourself a right to vote for the next aircraft for the next leg out of here. And I kind of want to, we're going to do some kind of keeping with the regional theme. I don't know if I'm going to go straight to Mexico City here from Puerto Vallarta. We might hit up a couple other small airports along the way. So I'm not really going after routes, but as far as airframes, we have the BAE 146 Aviaxa, I think I spelled that right. And then Piedmonter's favorite, the Mad Dog MD-80. So we have those two options. Yes, that's what we're going to stick with. So I'm going to put a poll up in chat so you guys earn the right to vote for hanging out with me today. Look at our climb power. Are we sure we're 500 feet a minute? This thing climbs like a dog, man. Now, can I go to what if I went to MCT? I know this is frowned upon, but let me just see here. Max continuous thrust. Obviously, probably not used for climb power. But it is Aero Mar. I mean, who knows? Let's go ahead and get up there. Captain Shark 21. Captain Shark coming in with a $10 super chat. Appreciate the support, man. Hey, we're flying over a bunch of white sharks right now. This is the white shark breeding ground, if you were unfamiliar, right here, going up into the Baja. I flew into Puerto Vallarta last month for a work trip from San Diego. On the way back, my first time on a B39M. B39M, also been a lot of ATRs in French Polynesia and Bahamas. Nice to now have them on Microsoft. Yeah, Captain Shark, appreciate the support, man. One thing that I think would really make this airplane, and I didn't even think to look, was if we had maybe a more immersive sound set. Like, I think it could be more immersive. So, I mean, these sounds are good, but there's some lacking spots. But yeah, get a nice FT Sim sound pack or a more immersive sound pack. I think this airplane is really going to scratch the itch for people that want to fly turboprops in airline style routes, because it is a very capable airplane. The ATR, you know, despite my slight rage and unfamiliarity with this airplane, it is extremely capable. I mean, you can fly your SIDs, your stars, your approaches, your arrivals, your RNP, ILS. Like, it's got it all. So it is a very capable airplane, but yeah, I think it's really gonna make a lot of people happy. I appreciate the support there, Cap Shark. Thank you for that. FT Sim does have a sound pack. Ah, see, now I'm a little bummed that I didn't try it out. I'm a little bummed I didn't get the FT Sim sound pack before takeoff. MD-80s, yeah, ooh, MD-80 is slightly ahead. MD-80s, there's some sweet MD-80 liveries for Mexico. The old Aero Mexico, like brushed aluminum ones, oh yeah. Willie, I did select climb, but I was tired of climbing at 400 feet, so I went to MCT, max continuous thrust, which is frowned upon to use in climb mode, but theoretically speaking, it's not going to hurt the airplane because it is exactly that, maximum continuous thrust. So typically you would use MCT, either a high terrain scenario or maybe your single engine. That's a big one. We use MCT single engine pretty much all the time because you need to have maximum continuous thrust available to the operating engine, especially at high gross weights. We need Boris to spend a few days in Tampa to get recordings. I know, Tyson. How sweet would that be? We're still climbing at 600 feet per minute. So if I go to climb, we're going to be doing like 300 feet a minute. We might just be too heavy. All right, we're going to stop the climb at 17 thou. I'll tell you what, we'll do 18. We'll stop the climb at 18,000 feet. I think we're just straight up too heavy. Michael, I think we're only doing one leg today, man. One leg, short leg. Out across the shark-infested. Not much to look at. Should have done this flight at night or something. That would have really been interesting. BE-146 with McDo. There is no the McDo's not out yet, right? Like the actual, the proper one that they're working on. That has, I think that's coming after the Fokker gets released. Maximum circle of thrust, exactly. Wow, they're grounded at LaGuardia for smoke? That's pretty crazy. Vladimir, yes, indeed, is a very funny looking Airbus, indeed, my friend. Oh, look at that high def windshield wiper there. That looks really good. I don't know what's going on with the light. You see that? That's interesting. Don't really like that view. All right, we're almost to 17 17.3. We're almost at it. We're almost 18 at 300 feet a minute. We are probably definitely at the max altitude. I'm kind of surprised. Let's go back to Prague. It doesn't have like a recommended altitude or anything. Selected 180. Here's your VNav. I just find that very interesting. One engine out ceiling is 14.6, so it should be here somewhere. Like you should have. I'm kind of puzzled by that. Max cruise, long range, max cruise. So now we've got 180 set. That's fine, but one engine out ceiling. Yeah, okay. Well, here we go. We're starting to level off. We're Outstar, live and die by Outstar in both the Q400 and the ATR. You pay for a $7 wiper, you get a $7 wiper. Good way to put it. All right, we're leveling at 18,000 feet. Let's go ahead and go into cruise mode now on the power management panel. And with cruise mode on, let's go ahead and bump up our speed target. Let's just see what we can get in cruise power. Let's see if we can do. I know 250 is the limit. We'll go ahead and accelerate. It's going to be a smooth ride here now. We'll go ahead and turn off. Let's go ahead and turn that dome light off. There's just weird reflections. All right, seatbelt sign off. You're now free to use your electronic devices, even though you've probably been using them the whole time. I'm going to stay here in cockpit view as we accelerate a little bit longer. Oh, you just timed out? Man, I'm surprised I'm not getting any calls for extra flying today out of LaGuardia. Let's see. Let me check the schedule. Make sure we have no extra flying opportunities today. All right. Service ceiling in Wikipedia shows 250. Well, that's the service ceiling. So, but that's going to be dependent upon weight. You know what? Did we look over here on the max takeoff weight flight limit? This is all CG stuff. I thought maybe it would be here. I thought maybe we'd have something here, but we're right here. We were pretty heavy. I mean, like, we're legit pretty heavy, so that's not in here. Huh. Alright, well, we'll just leave it on the payload page for now. We're still slowly accelerating. I'm going to keep it in climb power. No, it's not going to make a difference. Climb and cruise are the same now. So you can see our torque has pretty much, our max torque has dropped off 62% here at this altitude. What do we got outside? We are TAT 3 degrees. It's -4 on the SAT. Everything is looking good, though. Everything is looking good. As soon as we reach our cruise altitude, then we'll be able to enjoy some outside views. V plus 10? Oh, V2 plus 10? What do I think about the ATR so far? I'm trying to find the best way to describe how I feel about this airplane. And it's not because I don't... Let's just say, when the Q4XP came out, and the very first time I flew the Q4XP, I thought to myself, wow, I want to fly this plane for a week straight. As this airplane was nearing its development cycle, at the end of its development cycle, I was very excited. I was like, oh, we're going to have a really sweet ATR. And originally Blackbird Sim was the one that was going to release it, right? And formerly known as Milviz, and I've had a lot of Milviz products before and on different sims. So I was very optimistic when this airplane was releasing, and then Asobo calling it the Expert Series airplane. When it first came out, the bugs that I had noticed initially right out of the gate, I pretty much took it up in the pattern and then alt F4'd the simulator. After the latest, the first major update came out, it did clean up a lot of things. So I give credit where credit is due. That first update they dropped for the ATR cleaned up a lot of stuff, made it a much more enjoyable experience. But when I fly it, like I'm already thinking about, I can't wait for the next stream because I feel like we're flopping this one. You know? I don't know how else to explain it. I was like, I don't want to fly this one again. But it's not, there's nothing glaringly wrong or bad about the airplane, and it's a $7 airplane. So it's like, unenthused? Yeah, Dougal, that's a great way to put it. I'm unenthused. Expert for Xbox. Now we're gonna really start problems. ATR was a one-man development, and it shows really good in some areas, lacking in other. Oh, wow, really? It was a one-man development? Wow, and that's pretty impressive. I mean, there's no way. Why are we like way off course here? There's no way in hell, that I'd be able to develop anything remotely close to this. So I don't want to take anything away from the development of this airplane, but I think maybe it was a little overhyped and under-delivered. I think that's kind of a way to put it, in my opinion. But the texturing in cockpit it's really nice. The cockpit looks really, really good. I love the way the screen looks. I love the way the little reflections are on there. I don't like the way we're drifting, so let's do a little DTO, PR604, execute. Basically takes us to the approach. There we go. We'll center the needles up now. Now we're looking good. LNAV altitude. It looks like our max speed is really only going to be about 194 knots at this altitude. So that is set. We're on standard 29092, so looking good. I'll save for the Q400. Has there even been any discussion about the Q400 coming to Microsoft? Because I didn't think there was. Didn't realize we were doing another long haul. Yeah, I didn't either, Chaos. Jeez, this is going to be a long time. The 42 has better performance over the 72. ATR Pod Tours helped me out loads. Yeah, I actually prefer the 42. I think the 42 looks cool, man. I really wanted to fly the 42 on this stream, but they didn't have any Aero Mexico or any liveries. Or actually, that's not true. I think they had one for the 42, but the actual airline, Aeromar, who ran this, they used the 72. So we're using the stretch version, which is a little bit underpowered, no doubt. I can tell that. Oh, Majestic, duh. Yeah, Majestic. I was thinking FlyJ, sorry. Yeah, Majestic. I had the Majestic for P3D and FSX. So that was awesome. And that's the one I used when I was going to go to my first regional 121 airline job. They flew Qs. So in preparation, I didn't know what airplane you were going to get until you actually got the job offer. And they were either going to say, hey, take your pick. You can take Embraer or you can take Bombardier Q, or sometimes they would just say, hey, this class of new hires is all Q pilots only. So I didn't know what I was going to get, so I bought what was it? I remember Majestic, they had like several different price plans. Whatever the utmost like crazy expensive one was, I was like, hey, I'm going to invest in this airplane because I don't know if I'm going to end up flying it, so I got like the super high fidelity version with circuit breaker simulation and all that. And I loved it, man. I probably I want to say I put maybe 1,000, almost 1,000, probably not 1,000, maybe like 500 hours. Because that's a lot. That doesn't sound like a lot, but 500 hours of sim time is quite a lot. I was flying that airplane every day. Every day I was flying that airplane when I got back from work because I thought I might get it. And then they offered me the class date, and they said, hey, take your pick. You can go Q400 or you can go Embraer 170. I was like, oof, shiny jet syndrome, signing me up for the jets. So I never did do any formal Q training. And shortly after that, they ended up closing down the Q program, so it worked out. There's a very nice Aeromar 42 livery. Seriously? Let me look it up. Did Aeromar run the 42? Aeromar ATR 42. They sure did. Okay, so Aeromar, dang it, we might have to do another ATR stream. I'll have to try it out with the sound pack, because that might have something to do with it, I think. You know, maybe we get a nice high quality sound set. I mean, the sounds out here are pretty good. It's just kind of like what somebody said in the chat. It's some areas are really good, and then some areas I find just a little lacking. There is no flight level 180 Mexican airspace. 18.5 is a TR out too. Oh yeah, so well, if I hit them, let's see. We'll be all right. No ATCs online. But yeah, transitions 18.5. That's another thing. No charts, right? So you don't have your EFB. Can't just look at your charts. You got to look at the Navigraph app, which is fine. There's other airplanes that do that too. You know, the INI A310. There's no way to check your charts in the airplane cockpit. You have to pull up that Navigraph app, which is okay, but I don't prefer that. I do the same though. Embraer makes some great jets. Yeah. Javier, welcome, man. Good to see you. I hope you chose the old orange Aero Mexico liveries with the MD-80. Oh, yeah, Javier. We're going to pick a good one. We're going to pick a good one, Javier. Don't worry. We'll see. Welcome back to Private Pilot, sir. Glad to have you on board, man. Welcome. And how'd you like to have an engine flame out right here? I guess it'd be pretty good. There's no terrain to worry about, but I'd be sure worried about those sharks, man. Do you allow controllers to fly jump seat? Yeah. Yeah, I think air traffic controllers jump seat I think they have to do it part of their, not part of their training, but I feel like I've seen that. Air traffic controllers jump seat. Who else jump seats? Dispatchers. Airline dispatchers can jump seat. Oh, Aeromar had the ATR with the round dials? That would be sweet. The best taqueria, in my opinion, in Puerto Vallarta is called Pepe Tacos, next to a gas station. Javier, how close to the Puerto Vallarta is it? We fly a little helicopter over there? I've got a flight coming at the end of the month on a ERJ 145. Haven't been on one in 10 years, and I thought they'd phased out by now. No, man. The ERJ 145 is kind of like a cockroach. It just won't die. That airplane is everywhere. And I'm surprised there's as many as there are. The ERJ 145 just will not die, man. It is always, it's just there. It's just there. Pepe's Tacos. Now you guys are making me hungry. I'm going to have to look this place up and see where it is. All right, let's come back in here. And there actually is a little bit of a cabin tour. So everything is stabilized. We're looking good in here. Do we have a progress? Is it? Oh, so a one. Are we really going to be flying? We're not going to be flying for an hour, are we? Nah, we're getting close. We're going to do just a VFR approach in there. Let's do a little cabin tour. So, I think you just go through the door. Yeah. Walk right through the door. Look at those seats. Aero Mexico seats. Nicely done cabin. I mean, I have seen a lot worse cabins in a lot of airplanes that are more expensive. So, very, very nicely done interior cabin. Good frames. I know we're out over the ocean right now, but I think that's as far as I can go. Oh, maybe not. I went through the invisible. For some reason, I can't walk in the aisle anymore. Let's go ahead and go down these seats here. Let's go to the aft. This one's, I think it's like so it's $7 if you have the deluxe version. And I can't recall what the full price version is. It's not much more than that. I think it's only, maybe you guys know in chat. I can't remember what the full price version is, but for the price, I mean, I'm not going to say, no, don't get it. Because if you want a turboprop that can fly in the complex airspace environment, this one can definitely do it for you. Great white sharks, the pics of my profile I took in Isle of Guadalupe off the Baja West Coast. What? Guadalupe Island, dude? Captain Shark 21. Yeah, I've seen Guadalupe Island during Shark Week. Chaos, this full price was $19.99. There you go. Yeah, so for 20 bucks, I think I would still, I mean, I don't think you could say don't get it for $20. I mean, pretty decent modeling out here. Now, it's nowhere Q400 detail, but it's still pretty nice. Yeah, and Pilot Ty, like you said, for what you get that aircraft don't offer, it's 100%. Like, I would 100% recommend this airplane to anybody. Especially if you have the discounted version with like less than $10. How are we looking here? All right, well, it looks like the MD-80 is definitely winning. All right, so we're going to close that. MD-80 will be in the next stream, no doubt. Flight Sim School says it just seems like you can put that money elsewhere, though, and get a better plane. Depends on what you're looking for, man. If there's a plane coming out, like the Fokker 28, yeah, that's where I would be hanging tight. The F-28, that is going to be, I might binge that. I hope it comes out while we're doing this little Mexico tour here for the next week or so. I really hope it does, because I would love to fly. Did anybody in Mexico fly Fokker 28s? We need to find that out in chat. Did any Mexican operators fly Fokkers? We got to find that out. But Delta Tango, yeah, small regional feeder service for the 42 FedEx. Yeah, absolutely, that'd be fun. Jesper, good to see you, man. Welcome on board. MD-80 juice indeed. I'm actually really looking forward to the next MD-80 stream. It's been a long time since we've been in that airplane. I feel like I've grasped some more concepts. I'm a little bit more comfortable in that airplane now, and I'm ready to take it up. No, we're not streaming another flight after this one. This is kind of a long turboprop flight, but it'll be the next stream. I don't know if it'll be tomorrow or probably towards next week, because I end up going on a short little 3-day trip this weekend. But I don't get back till Sunday evening, so it would probably be next week sometime. Unless I stream tomorrow, which I don't know. I might just take the boat out tomorrow. We'll see. I flew in a Fokker 50 on Incel Air between Aruba and Bonaire. Very interesting. Mexicana had the F-28? Really? Chaos, I know. Mexicana flew the Fokker 28. See, now why is my screen all jacked up here? So we're also drifting. So this is interesting here. I don't know if this is... I don't know what's going on here. So we've got this like INS drift here, which is kind of scary. Shouldn't be doing that, especially when you're going across the water with no land references. Oh, there's an island out there, but we don't want to be drifting too far off course. We'll start looking at our charts here in a minute. Get ready for our top of descent. Get a nice little Nice little ATR view. Yeah, the autopilot might not be correcting for wind chaos. That's a good point. Jesper. Well, the MD-80 finally did die off. The MD-80 did die off. I don't see him anymore in the U.S.
You know what's also fun to do on a boat while fishing and relaxing? Recording an elusive podcast. Lol.
Callie Simmer, thank you for the $5 bank angle check, man. It's a great point, dude. That is a great point. You know, record an elusive podcast. I don't know though. It has to remain elusive. We do need. We're gonna do one here soon. I swear. We're gonna do one, Callie Simmer. I appreciate you, man. I don't think Mexicana flew a Fokker. I'm looking right now online. I don't think. Let me Google something here. Gotta be careful how you spell things. Yeah. What is this? Is that a Fokker? It is. It's a F-100. Click Mexicana. They sure did. They sure did. They sure did fly them, man. I like it. What's this? I like that livery, too. I guess I just maybe assumed they were all 717s. I didn't realize they were actually Fokkers. That is cool. All right. Well, we're gonna have our work cut out for us when the Fokker releases. Oh, that's probably what it is. It was like a regional brand, Lauren. Yeah. Yeah, they flew F-100. They also flew the 717, but I saw an Fokker 28 in there. Either way, I think we're gonna have to do it. Aviasca did? Dude, don't tell me that. Let me look at the Aviaxa. Let me see. Fellowship. We have to see what. There's no livery list for the Just Flight one, is there? I don't see any Aviaxa. Oh, I sure do. There they are, right there. Fleet details. Aviaxa Fokker 28. Oh no, that's a DC-9. Wait a second. That's an F-100. That's not the short one. Where's the short one? Yeah, I don't see. They have Fokker 100s. Ah, that Piedmont livery looks so good. Fokker 100. I'll have to see what livery list. That's a DC-9. You have to really look closely when you look. Yeah, obviously I have the Fokker 28. There it is. That's definitely a 28. Man, you start looking at all of them, you're like, what's the difference between a Fokker, a 28, a 100, a DC-9? They all start looking the same. You get the wings are really telltale. F-50, F-100, right. The F-100 is the longer one. I saw a couple F-100s in there. Jesper Yasso said, but actually meant when it was flying, you could lose all engines and electrical and even the hydraulics. It could still be flown. Oh, yeah. The MD-80 you're talking about? Yeah. Oh, yeah. That thing was a tank, man. Oh, we see some land up here. How's our fuel? I hope we planned this right. Fuel... fuel used, so 1,800 pounds. So we use almost 2,000 pounds. Okay. Gross weight is 4,707. We're looking good. I wish I can bump up the speed a little bit more. I'm just going to wind this up. I don't think it makes a difference, but let's wind it up. 230. There's finally some land in the distance. I missed the start. Are you going to try an RMP? No, Luigi. We're just going to do a visual approach. I want to hand fly. These airplanes, I really like hand flying. I mean, I know we want to fly our RNAV and be our magenta line pilots, but I really want to try to get the hand flying vibe on this airplane, because I don't. If you weren't here earlier, this airplane leaves me unenthused, and I don't know why. So I think maybe if I hand fly it more. So once we get within range, I'm just going to disconnect everything. We're going to fly a visual approach pattern, and I'm just going to try to get the sense for pitch and power. Just old school, man. Pitch and power. Click all the automation off, and let's see how it hand flies, and maybe that'll kind of kindle a little fire for me in this airplane. Tyson, I'm giving her all she's got, Captain. I know. Yeah, Delta Tango. There's some 717 guys that are really into their airplane for sure. All right. Pac-Man 056. Pac-Man has gifted 10 more memberships to the channel. Captain Jarrett, Solo Boy, Gavin, Private Pin, Gazo, Ryan, Gamer, Amir, Litmar, Indigo, Flight Sam. You guys all are now members, one of us. Welcome to the channel, courtesy of Pac-Man. Very kind of you, sir. Thank you for that. I appreciate your support here on the channel, man. That's very kind of you. Thank you for that. Very, very kind. I'm going to have a little bit of my little protein bar lunch here, and we're going to start our top of descent. All right, I'm looking on the Just Flight website here for Fokkers for their livery list. I don't see anything yet. Man, the cockpit on that F-28 looks so good. Oh, here we go. Here's some liveries. I wonder if I should overlay this. Ailerons in the wind, good to see you. No rage quit yet and almost the top of descent. Today is going well. Hey, I'm doing the best I can, man. This is how into this airplane I am. Ailerons in the wind. This is how much I'm enjoying this airplane. I've already made a poll for the next stream, and it's going to be the MD-80. I've been looking at F-28 liveries and Fokker liveries for when that gets released. So that's how enthusiastic I am on this ATR. And I don't know why it's weird. All right, Sabina, Erangila. What's that one? That was cool. Martin Air? Holland. That's pretty sweet. Empire. Air Ontario, Scandinavian, City Hopper, and US Air. That's going to be fun. I don't see any other liveries, though. British Air. I hope we get some type of South or some type of Mexican livery. Because I hope this releases soon. I am so pumped about the Fokker. All right, how we looking? We got to pay attention here. We are getting close to TOD, about another 40 miles or so. The descent checklist and flight warning system, right? Recall, landing elevation, FMS nav performance, DHMDA. We're going to just set a straight up Barrow, oops, that's Barrow, DHMDA. We're going to do a 200 DH. Do a straight out, rat out 200. Empire, great for ex-Piedmont ops. Ooh, yeah. That Piedmont livery, though, it just so good on that Fokker. All right, let's keep on going. A good twin engine is a C-160, then turbo engine sounds go. Oh yeah, Willie, trust me, dude. The C-160 Transall is one of, if not my favorite. I don't think this is right. Is this right? Top of descent there. Let's do some mental math. We are, if I go to Prague, MMPR, we are 103 miles. So what's our 3-to-1 rule, chat? So if we take our cruise altitude of 18,000 feet, and we want to be at, let's just say we want to be at 2,000 feet. Give us some wiggle room. That's 16,000 feet times 3. It's be a 48,000. So move the decimal. 48 miles. Give myself about another 5 miles or so. So around 55 miles, 7 miles extra. Around 55 miles, I'm probably going to start down. I know this says TOD in 39. But we got to be about, well, we'll see. We'll see how that matches up. 55 or 100. That's actually pretty close because that would be 60 TOD. So that's actually a pretty accurate TOD marker. Mind you, this is based on the arrival here, which I don't think we're actually going to fly. So if I go to, see, I wish, oh, now I really screwed it up. No, I don't want that. So, you know, like in the only airplanes I can think about it is the Coronado airplanes, when they have these little pop-out panels you can use. Like, so you can, like, pop this out on your screen and then manipulate. I think that's much easier to do than having these hidden click spots. I think that would be a nice little, like, you could just pop out a little panel and manipulate the controls. I don't know how viable that is, though, in Microsoft. I also don't like how we keep drifting. Let's do another DTO. Same fix. Let's straighten up that line. We're getting there, though. 30 miles to top of descent. Oh, yeah, you can come down much quicker in this. Lauren, I would love to find a jungle strip in rural southeast Mexico to fly into. C-160, all white. An all-white C-160 that's not suspicious at all. Speedbird himself dropping another 5 gifted subs. Speedbird, Flight Dispatch 320. Appreciate the love, man. Thank you for the support. Guys, if you pick up a membership, say thank you. Appreciate that. Very, very kind of you, Flight Dispatch. Are you working today? I don't see any Speedbird ATRs around me. Alright, so if we're going to be, well, gross weight is, let's do some landing calculation. Gross weight, 46.8. So let's go performance. Reverse. I'm going to do no reverse because I don't know if my bindings are going to work. Dry. Required runway length, 2114. Arrival runway length, 10,000 feet, so we're looking good. VAP. VGA, 124. I don't know what VGA is. Go around. VMHB equals VAP 110, so alright. I can see up there. Let's go ahead and pull out real quick. We'll look at our Puerto Vallarta charts here, just so we have some familiarity. Ooh, Flight Dispatch, you're doing a Spiritual Wings, LA to Detroit, huh? Good deal. Good deal. Alright. Let's pull up the taxi chart here, see what we're getting into. Single runway ops, plan on runway 4. What is the wind down there, though? We might have to get a... There's no ACARs on this thing, is there? Runway 4, or we're set up for runway 4. Plenty of runway. Looks like we'll have to... We'll either roll it to the end or we'll make this taxiway here in the middle. Go into the ramp. RMP4 starts at the final, or well, the final is PR400. PR401 is the initial. We could go direct, tell you what, let's go direct RoPro, which is the initial. We'll insert that, execute. And I think we're pretty much at top of descent now, so let's go ahead and dial this sucker down. We're not quite there yet. RoPro is at or above 4,000, so I'm going to set 4. VGA is the old HDMI. Yeah. 7, 6, 5, 4. A couple more 100 feet to go. All right, 4,000 feet is set. In the descent, we can maintain a speed target of 220. We'll probably vertical speed her down to get started, and then we can go into a VNAV if we want to, but I don't know if Aeromar was authorized VNAV. How we looking? If we look at VNAV, target IA is 170, 4,000 feet. It doesn't have a target vertical speed yet. Temperature compensation, we don't need that. It's plenty warm. Destination, there is no ACARs, right? RMS, no. So, Karsten, yeah, it would definitely cause issues for airlines. I think somebody was mentioned that the LaGuardia Airport was in a ground stop for that. So, absolutely, it can slow things down. Definitely can slow things down, especially when it's heavy, thick smoke like that. I don't know if we can pick up MP. Oh, there it is, 62 miles. Right now, winds are 210 at 9. Okay, so winds are 210 at 9. And 29901. So that's approach. Ground wind. Can I input that? 210 at 9 knots. Okay, 210 at 13. No gusts. 29901. Really? There we go. 29901 transition is really 18.5. All right, here we go. We are just about to start down. Delta Tango first day with no smoke. Good deal. I'm gonna have to look into that more. I didn't even know there was a lot of. I didn't know there was a whole thing going on with all that smoke, but apparently it's a pretty big deal. The sim populated haze for you? That's pretty cool. I wonder what would happen if we flew into LaGuardia. Would it actually show haze and stuff? All right, we're approaching top of descent. Vertical speed. Oh, you can't arm it. Can't prime it. So what if we do vertical speed, nose it down about 500 feet a minute. That's actually about 1,000. Start down 500 feet a minute. Now I'm curious, if we arm VNAV, is it going to freak out? Probably will. Brandmaster says it's a shame this airline went under right before this plane came out. Oh man. Maybe because they were using it for training. That might have had something to do with it. If they use this airplane for training. Alright, so VNAV path is armed, so we didn't actually capture. We're not starting down yet. So it's probably gonna be a pretty aggressive nose down. Let's see what happens. I'm curious to see how it handles this. Just a VNAV path is armed. I'm curious. We're learning here. There we go. And there's the 0G maneuver. So if you weren't awake, you're awake now. Let's go ahead and get our seatbelts on. No electronic devices in the descent. And we're probably going to have to bring back power, I would imagine. Or will it bring it back on its own? No, it's not going to. Bringing those power levers out. What's that sound? Why are we vibrating? That's probably FS realistic. Oh, we're gonna disable. We're gonna do that. Yeah, that's FS realistic. We're getting rid of it. FS realistic. Nah. Alright, so we're doing pretty good. We're on the VNAV path. Needs a little bit more juice to maintain 220 knots. Let's go ahead and look at our checklist here. FWS recall landing elevation check. Nav perf done. DH set. Arrival briefing procedure completed. That leaves us with approach checklist. Seatbelts already on. Landing lights will come on. Altimeters are set. Check. Cabin altitude is checked. Go back, go back, go back, go back. Nope. Why isn't next, like I feel like this should be up, down, and then in the middle should be where you select it. See, I did it again. Down, down, down. Approach checklist. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. Oh my gosh, now we're going back up here. I want the before landing checklist. There it is. Cabin crew, gear flaps, power to takeoff mode, a TLU low. And what else we got? Icing, don't need that. Exterior lights as required. Okay, so we're looking good. We're at a 14,000. Coming on down. Yeah, I got rid of FS Realistic a long time ago. And then I just brought it back for this airplane because the sounds were very lacking, in my opinion, like the ambiance sounds, the ground, starting up on the ground. So I try to use FS Realistic for that, but it's not really what it is. I mean, FS Realistic, I think, should have a big disclaimer on there. It's like, best used with light GA aircraft, because with GA airplanes, it's great. But even props like this, I mean, you're flying, it's still an airliner. I mean, you're not, this isn't shaking up here when you start up. You don't have like a bunch of like noise and shakes and all that. So. But here we go. We are on the descent. Oh, look at that. That's pretty cool, though. This might be pretty coming in here. Yeah, Caleb, that's another great one. Checklist manipulation on a hat switch. Is that possible to bind? I didn't even think about that, Caleb. I doubt there's a binding for it, but that would be a great thing to have. If you could manipulate the checklist with a binding, oh, that would be so helpful. So helpful. Hidden buttons are based on the layout of buttons of the respective controls. Oh, like here. The procedures, like, okay. I see. Makes sense. Makes sense. Except this page. This page is mysterious. Get ready to go through 10,000. Let's go ahead and get the lights on. We are, what are we, about 20 miles from RoPro? No, we're 17 miles. Puerto Vallarta traffic, Aeromar 357. About 16 miles from RoPro, setting up for a visual runway north. What runway are we landing on? 4. Runway 4. Checklist LVARs might exist, Jeff L. You right. You can do it, but you need to do it with SPAD or AO. Well, that's good to know. See, that's one of those things that if I was really loving this airplane, I would be all for it. I'm like, okay, I'm dedicating 3 days to making sure I have every binding set properly in this airplane and have it set exactly the way I want. But I just don't have that motivation with this bird. I don't know what it is, but it's beautiful. I love the look of the ATR, man. The ATR just looks aggressive. I love it. Love it, love it. Love the look of that. And we're doing pretty good on the VNAV path. A little bit fast, 230, but oh, here we go into some haze. Welcome to Puerto Vallarta. C1 City looks better. Easy, obviously. Vodka. There is no 2-2. There is... Oh, 4 and 2-2, yeah. Why are you landing 2-2? What's the wind, Vodka? I'll tell you what, I will, I'll shoot the approach to 4 and I'll break off. We'll do a visual and I'll land on 2-2 then. So don't worry about me. I'll enter the pattern. I'll enter the pattern. We'll do 2-2 because I want to hand fly it anyway. This looks nice though. C-160 is a beast. Maybe we should fly it next. Maybe we should do another leg. ND has buttons below the McDo. These? Yeah, for manipulating that. What about like zoom and stuff? Like this, like doing the up and down and then whatever's over here. So like the... This is good. I can manipulate down here with those things. But I need pop-out panel. Pop-out panel. Yeah, below the throttles. Yeah, down here. That's what I was saying earlier. It'd be sweet if you could pop this out, so you could be flying and like just dealing with the panel. That's what I was saying earlier. Willie, you want the 530 autopilot on the C-160? Dude, come on. You don't need no autopilot for that. You don't need an autopilot for the C-160. Oops, you don't need a 530. You don't need a Garmin for the C-160. Old school round gauge, man. That looks beautiful, though, right there. MiGs! Unenthused. Unenthused MiGs, but so far, so good. So far, so good. Only issue with the C-160 has performance issues when there's more than 3 or 4 in a group flight. Interesting, Dougal. I don't have 3 or 4 friends, so I don't ever do group flights, but that's something I never would have discovered. Yeah, there's a Garmin in the C-160 now, which is... I mean, that just makes me sad. Alright, so I'm going to fly this down to 4. We'll maintain 4,000 as we go over the field, and then we will overfly. I tell you what, we'll actually set 2,000. Or 20... Yeah, 2,000 is the final approach fix altitude. I'm going to set 2. We're going to fly 2. We'll let it go right up the up to 4, and then we'll do a visual pattern and land on 2-2. Yeah, because this takes you way out here over the bay. Man, Mexico has got some beautiful terrain down here, doesn't it? I have 272 friends right now. Yeah, but I guess I really only have 189 true friends that hit the like button. Recording is ready to go. 360 megabyte update for the sim? Really? Is that for the non-beta, or is that for the whole sim? Yeah, Kay, as well. You know how I feel about that. Give my C-160 a totally unrealistic Garmin. Sweet. I get it, though. Some generations are just afraid to not have a magenta line. That's just that's the cold, harsh reality that we live in. Thank you, Willie. Appreciate you. Oh, yeah, the beta. Yeah, I'm not running the beta, man. I'll wait. I'll wait for stable. Wow, we actually need this approach. I'm surprised, unless they're running unless Team Vodka's running an approach to 2-2. 2,000 is set. V1, have you updated the ATR? Yes, I have. Oh yeah, Tyson, I was saying that earlier. The first release was rough. But that update, I said give credit where credit is due. I think that first update really cleaned up a lot. It definitely brought it to the flyable band for me. I'm going to select speed 200 here. Try to maintain about 200 knots. Right about there. 3 descending 2. Puerto Vallarta traffic, Aeromar 357. We're on the RNAV runway 4, but we'll break off and circle for visual 22. Puerto Vallarta. Same, Jeff. Alright, there's our altitude alert. Now, I didn't hit alt... There's no alt cell on this one. That's right, that's the Q. No alt cell in this one. Slow down a little bit. Let's go ahead and sync heading bug. I do love that. There's alt star 200 knots. We're leveling 2,000 feet. Wow, this is pretty hazy. So we need to go into TO mode here for, let's run our last check. Cabin crew, landing gear, we'll do that. Power management, TO, TLU, low speed. Icing AOA is not required. Exterior lights, procedure is completed. So we just got to not forget the gear. Okay, there's the runway right there. So this is what we're going to do, y'all. We're going to go autopilot off. We're going to go flight directors off. And I don't think...
Traffic here, Mexico 6195, 10 miles for 22.
Puerto Vallarta traffic, Aeromar 357. We're breaking off now, setting up left traffic for 22, Puerto Vallarta. Alright, so let's go ahead and keep on coming down. Let's set 1500. Give us a rough altitude. There's 1500 set. We're going to get that deviation flash. That's normal. I probably should have flipped the box around now for 22, but we're on the visual approach. The setting to 1500 feet. We're slowing up to about 160 knots here. Wind that down so I can see it. There we go. That traffic landing 22. How far out are you?
We are 7 miles out of 22.
Okay, Roger. We just picked up on TCAS. We'll slide in behind you. All right, so there he is out there. We're going to continue outbound. Hopefully we don't lose separation. I should cut him off. It is Team Vodka. You have a timeshare down there, Tyson? That is awesome. That's awesome, Tyson. I'm going to see real quick if I can come down here. Go flight plan. Oh, no, I can't. I was trying to see if I could flip the box around. So you get your head down. Now you start doing this number here. That's the altitude alert correcting. Got 200 feet high there. All right, so I can see the terrain. I could have easily made a short approach in there. It is bumpy down here. I'll tell you what, we're going to make a short approach. He's 2 miles behind us. Should we cut him off? Just cut him off. Here we go. We'll make a short approach. Gear down. Flaps 5. And we'll go ahead and get the recording on. We'll make a short approach. We're going to get off just in time. Puerto Vallarta traffic, Aeromar 357, making a short approach 22. Oh, I didn't mean to hit that. That's a flat binding. That's a flat binding. Didn't mean to hit that. Minor overspeed. We'll have to write that up. Gears down 3 green, runway in sight barely. Coming back to our VAP speed now. I gotta wind that bug down. And mouse clicked it. Right there. Definitely bumpy though, jeez. Havoc. Appreciate the super chat, man. BAE, now ATR. We might even convert you off of Freedom Unit soon. Hey, never. Never, Havoc. Thank you for the $10 super chat, man. Appreciate you, dude.
Mexico 6185 going around, traffic on final.
You got plenty of room.
Approaching decision height.
Insight landing.
200. Decision height.
A little bit high, correcting there.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20.
Float machine activate.
10.
Now, I don't know what happens when I hit the reversers. Looks like it's working. Let's go ahead and we'll clear right here. Stow the reversers. Wow, that thing stops on a dime. Aeromar 357 clear and runway 22. Man, we made a short approach.
All right, Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, 6185. We're going to make left traffic back around for 22.
Are we still in reverse mode? So yeah, so there we go. Now I'm in the binding issue. $264? Caleb, I appreciate your super chat, man. I saw you there. I saw that come in when we were on short final. You did distract me. I was 4 whites. Appreciate you. I said, just wanted to wish you good luck. We're all counting on you, Caleb. Thank you for the $5 super chat, my friend. Very, very kind to you. Flaps are up. Let's clean it up. A couple of Airbuses over there. I don't know where we parked this thing here. Tell you what, let's go over to this regional style ramp. Right over here. We'll park right over here. We'll check that replay. Very, it does like to float, but I also think that's kind of probably has to do with the way the airplane is designed too. You get the high wing, very efficient airfoil up there. You know, you start thinking of other high wing airframes. They are very efficient at low speed. So I get these big Hershey bar wings, straight wing. Get a lot of good performance. The grass. Should we park in the grass? Now I kind of want to shut down. I want to listen to the shutdown sounds. But I don't mess with the replay. Actually, it has state saving, so we will shut down. I want to listen to the shutdown sounds. So we'll come over here to the left. We'll park over here on this pavement. Have to bring the buses out. Set the brake. Brakes are set. Now let's do feather cutoff for number 1. Let's watch that spin down. And now, let's see if we can do this in hotel mode. Let me turn these off. Let's go ahead and go, first things first, we're gonna turn that fuel pump off. Now we're gonna do feather. So let's go ahead and feather. That's gonna feather number 2. And then we should be able to prop brake it. I still have those lights on. I don't know what happened there. So let's see if we can go prop brake now. Prop brake on. It might have to be below a certain RPM. It might have to be below a certain RPM. How do I get to engine? NH is still 69.5. So can you not go straight into hotel mode on shutdown? I guess you can. Aux hydraulic pump. Oh yeah, I need hydraulic pressure.
Vallarta, Mexico 6185. We're clear of all runways.
Low, low, low. Where is hydraulic aux? Crossfeed? Aux pump. That's aux pump off. Prop brake right here. Switch near throttle? Gust lock on? I think that did it. Now it says ready. Prop brake is ready. There we go. Now it's going to stop it. There you go. There you go. Oh, so you need the gust lock on. That's what it is. The gust lock's on. Now you can prop brake it. So now we're in hotel mode. Shut down. Ready to go. Let's listen to a shutdown sound here with the cutoff. You still hear that prop, like the prop is spinning even though it's not spinning. That, I would imagine, would be pretty hard to program. To program a shutdown sound with the prop spinning and without the prop spinning. I don't know if that's possible. All right, we made it. We're down. We're on the ground. Oh, I was recording that whole time. So let's go ahead and put this into a replay. Let's go over here. Let's close this. Let's do aircraft ready for taxi mode. Let's get these out of the feather, put them in the auto position. Let's get our lights back on. And then we'll take a look at the replay. It's pretty easy to do that? All right. Well, I'm trying to be nice, Chaos. All right? I'm trying to be nice here. Making it hard to be nice, Chaos. Alright, we're back up to speed. We'll disconnect from VATSIM. Let's take a look at our replay.
Don't sink.
Gears coming down. So there we are, base to final. Or no, that was when we were on the downwind. Oh yeah, here we go, base to final turn. Let's turn it down a little bit. A little bit of a bank angle check there. Nothing too suspicious for Aeromar. But this is what I do love about turboprops, and this airplane, it felt pretty good. Like, you bring those power levers to idle when you're flying a turboprop, the airplanes will come down without accelerating. So you really can get these airplanes in the tight windows. That's what makes them so good for short field performance, short field, short tight airstrips. You can get them down, you can get them up quick. And that's one thing that a lot of guys who just fly turboprops, their whole maybe regional career or whole experience until they get to a jet, they have a very hard time learning about the deceleration and managing a jet engine versus the prop, because you really got these nice big disc brakes out here essentially. Power levers come to idle, and man, these airplanes will slow down. So yeah, we got her to come down a little bit high and fast, still a little pitchy. It just, like, I'm just look at the way the airplane moves in the air. I feel like I'm flying on Xbox. I'm just gonna say it. I feel like I'm watching an Xbox landing, the way the flight model is. So round out, and now we just entered 100% float mode. Just set her down, right on center line, just about. Nice little pitch up axis there when we hit reverse. But look how fast that airplane stopped. I don't know what the actual landing performance is on an ATR. That was extremely short. So how we stopped, well, it said about 1,000 feet, right, in the performance tab. This was right about 1,000 feet. 100% legal, Caleb. 100% legal and really short too. So we're touching down. So that's 1,000 feet between those two marks. And we basically, yeah, and I wasn't full brake either. I could have been full brake on touchdown. So very good short field performance. Make the turn off here on the runway. Another happy landing indeed. All right. We're going to wind it back. I'm going to set you guys up here. I never put you in replay mode, my bad.
Don't sink.
You guys can enjoy one or two more.
Don't sink. Don't sink.
Oh, Nepal. Yeah, the feathered prop. I watched that happen. I watched that. I not watched that, but I watched a video on that, Robinson. Sad. Definitely sad. All right, guys. Thank y'all for sticking around for this short, mildly entertaining stream with the ATR 72. Probably we're going to be hangering this bird. I'm going to say I'm probably going to hanger this bird for a while. I don't know what it is. I hope I don't offend anybody or anybody's feelings. But maybe I have to try the FT Sim sound pack. I might give it another shot with the FT Sim sound pack, and we'll go for that. But I did enjoy taking this over from Cabo to Puerto Vallarta. Looks like we're going to have some fun flying in and out of here. I think if we do a sunset or a sunrise departure out of Puerto Vallarta, it's going to be very, very pretty. So I'm going to have to time that up. We're going to be in the Mad Dog MD-80 next time we do this. It might be tomorrow, most likely not Friday, and if it's not Friday, then it definitely won't be till next Monday because I'm going back to work. So until then, guys, you stay safe, stay healthy. I'm off to Taco de Marlin and Pepe's Tacos. Y'all take care, stay safe, stay healthy. I'm V1. See ya!